Quick story. A girl and a guy met and fall for each other. They both love music, so decide to work together. And they were pretty good at it. Now on the surface, everything looked perfect. But oh, the stress of the city. So they decided otherwise. They packed up and left for the countryside. And that's where we meet this family, raising their children, growing their own food and their business together, on a quest to find a new normal and a new sense of happiness. And if you're looking for the same thing, then join us and we can unpack this thing called life together. Where are my manners? Let me introduce myself. I'm Shamel Olwago, my husband's Amondi Olwago, and together we are Nile Ochi. And this is Z-Quest. Speak to the people.
Alright, so this week, what are we talking about?
This week.
You don't even know.
No,
This week.
no. Stop. You're obviously in one of those moods this week.
God, just go.
This week. No.
Alright, let's go. So this week, well, I wanted to kind of talk about money.
Yeah.
Money.
What about it?
Do you need money to make money?
Depends what game you're in.
So yeah, that's what actually I wanted to kind of well, I don't know if it's a myth. So it's just to debate, talk, whatever you want to call it, about money, because we often hear that you don't need money to make money.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you hear more. You don't need money to make money, or you need money to make money. Which one of the two do you think you hear the most?
Depends what people you hang around.
When you say depends what people you hang around, you talking about your friends? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about whether you're hanging around with poor people or rich people.
All right. So,
and when I say poor and rich, personally, when I say it, I'm talking about people's mindsets.
All right. So what you're saying is that basically,
poor mentality or rich mentality.
If you hang around, so would you say if you hang around?
I hang around with both.
Richer, wealthier people, let's say, then the answer will be no. You don't need money to make money.
Yes.
Okay, most likely.
Yes, every time.
Is it a lack of reflection, you would say, from on their behalves, or is it them being really realistic about what it is to make money?
I think that it comes from the mindset of getting things done.
All right. Well, when you say getting things done, what are you talking about?
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Where there's a will, there's a way. Okay.
This type of mentality that it's like, look, if I ain't got it, I'm sure I'll find somebody who has it, or I'll ask somebody. This idea of getting your hand in your pocket and paying for it upright doesn't really come up.
Okay.
It's more of how can we hustle to get this?
All right. So, okay. But some would say that when you reach, you don't need to hustle.
Lies.
All right. And how's that a lie?
Because I think that's how they got there. They're not going to suddenly stop unless they want to lose their money.
Well, we're talking about, let's talk about, all right, in the case that, yes, you need money to make money, okay?
Yeah.
So, this brings me to talk about people who actually have a different upbringing and probably have a different education, live in a different country than us or other people, and therefore have different opportunity presented to them. Or you one person, or you the type of person to believe that you make opportunities, or opportunities come to you. Because this will obviously change your perception on the making money.
I think both. I think you make opportunities, and I think you can attract opportunities as well.
Okay.
And I think that sometimes you just happen upon opportunities as well.
All right.
But luck is for the prepared, so you gotta be in a place to receive that opportunity, or it's not an opportunity.
All right, so let's talk about scenario.
Okay.
Without offending anybody.
No,
we're gonna talk about a child, being in Europe, versus a child being in the heart of Africa, in the middle of Africa, wherever, in a poor, what's seen as being poor. Not that it is the case. I'm just saying that poor country.
What people see on the telly.
People see on telly, and do they have the same opportunity to you?
No.
Does one was surrounded with money in the first place? And what I mean with money doesn't have to be physically money, but access and things that cost money in order for you to benefit from.
Okay.
So we're talking about same child, different location.
I'm going to say I'm going to say that Africa is not the only place that has poor children.
No, but
I'm going to say in the heart of Europe there is hella poor children, and then I'm going to say, but for the sake of just the scenario, which I understood, I think that the child who is surrounded with a débrouillard type of mentality, a hustle mentality, is going to be able to navigate better than the child who is just never even having to think about it.
Okay. Do you think then?
So
I'm African.
In the idea,
so
on the of course, baby. But in the idea of that, I would say the person who would live, say you were in the heart of Africa, but then your family ran a business. They were on a farm or something.
Yeah.
Or your mother when she went to market or something like that.
Yeah.
You are a way better opportunity to be able to attract wealth in your life than the kid who is in the middle of Europe.
The project?
With an iPad.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop with an iPad because I'll be,
in the project.
I've done my fair share, okay? And there's some of them better kitted out than me, okay?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
All right. They looking at me like, what are those? So I'm just saying, it just depends on what community you come from.
All right. So community being
the community is strong here. So when we say in the middle of Europe, if it's France, the community is strong here. So even if you are from the block, you are from such a strong community where the hustle mentality is there. The idea that there is no free money, you have to go out and get it. You have to go out and use who you know and your resources. Yeah. You have to be resourceful rather than who can I pay to get this done for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's that. It's more that. And you can pick that up from many places. Like you could pick that up if you have access to people who earn a living by selling things or earn a living by, commerce.
So if we talk about, if we say yes, you need money to make money in this scenario, in this case, because there's many different cases anyway, where you could need money to make money.
Well, if you have to buy into an opportunity, so to speak.
Exactly.
There's lots of that.
So
don't they just turn out to be like pyramid schemes?
It could be.
Like
it could be,
a lot of
you definitely
people
need that thousand.
Listen, a lot of people
that gets you in, and I know. But
a lot of people who had the money, to get to the money, lost the money. So
no, that's true. But we're not talking about losing money. We're talking about making money. Okay. So losing money is another thing.
Oh.
Now. We'll talk more about
Isn't
finance,
half of having it not losing it?
No, because this is why we're talking about this.
Go on.
There's you need money to make money, i.e., for you to be rich, and rich meaning earning a lot of money. So you need money to make money, etc. Some people believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody does.
Yeah.
And then there's having a solid finance. Those are different things. It's not exactly the same thing. But I'm just saying, okay. Because what it is, I believe there is situations where there is disadvantage from the start before you even, think about it, even think about making money. So you know already that this disadvantage exists.
Yes.
Doesn't mean that you have, doesn't mean that you don't have, like, doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to make money and be wealthy. That's completely separately, that's completely different, I believe. But there is a situation where there's a disadvantage.
Yes, there are situations where there's disadvantage, but it's like you almost have to, like, in my experience of whatever disadvantages I have, because many would argue I have lots of advantages. Exactly, that's another thing. What one person sees as you say, I'm so disadvantaged, another one would be like, girl, if I had what you had. So there's always going to be somebody who's like, no, it's not. But it's everyone's personal struggle, innit?
But then, that being said, what you just said, if somebody else saw your situations, they'd probably be like, oh, if I had what you have, then I'll be like wealthy or whatever, or I'll be where I want to be, etc.
May do.
This may be a disadvantage in its own because think about it. It means that you do not have the education. Someone didn't provide you the education to get yourself out of that situation. You feel blocked. You feel, because I believe that if people in their mind feel restricted, it's also because there's a lack of education, a particular education
to be able to get themselves out of their own situation.
Their own situations.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas another person may see it differently.
That's so true. But then everybody else's problems look, different to your own.
And that's true, yeah.
Because, I mean, we've all done it. We've looked at someone's problem and said, listen, all they need to do is this, this, and this, and they'll be out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, tops. That's people, we always minimize other people's situation like that.
Yeah, we do. This is fair.
So, I would say there is some truth to it, but it would depend on your mindset towards your own situation.
Would you say pinch of salt?
Handful. Because it just depends on how you feel, and also what your ethics are, what you're willing to do, what you think using someone is, what you think using people who around you. There's the word use, it can be a good way and a bad way. Like, there's lots of stuff. I
do believe that down to the individuals is more complex to answer this question personally. I believe that down to communities or countries, I do believe that some countries been highly disadvantaged, being set back as a result, obviously financially,
globally, yes,
globally, and some communities as well.
Yes,
because of oppressions or all different kind of things.
Yes,
and when I mean communities, I don't mean necessarily communities that are like that you would classify by race, or because there's different communities. You got the gay communities, you got there's all sorts of communities, or quite the opposite. Some actually has been an advantage for them being a part of a community.
Yeah.
So, I believe seeing like there is a kind of there's a factor here, I think, when it comes to communities. As an individual, it doesn't matter, I believe, because if you're in a community but you're the waste of that community,
then there's nothing we can do for you.
There's nothing we can do for you,
yeah.
So I believe that it's partially true, I'm guessing.
Partially, but then everything is down, I would say, back to education.
Yeah. Well, if we talk about education, then first of all, let's be devil's advocate here.
Go.
And say, no, you don't need money to make money. Now, okay, some people we often see successful people saying, no, you don't need money to make money. Okay. Now, I believe that to a certain extent it is true, but it depends what your definition of making money is. There's generational wealth, and there's making money couple of 100,000 a year.
Yeah.
And or
just having a job.
And having a job.
Yeah.
Now I've seen people saying no and being like, like vehemently about it. And so also the same people that happened to say no, actually had something happening in their life, something that a big thing happened in their lives that, and they got out of that situations, and as a result said to themselves, okay, the truth is, if I can get out,
then anyone should be able to get out.
Yeah. However, I believe that
we're not all built the same. We're not all supposed to get out.
Yeah.
We're not. I just don't think we are. I don't think it's for us to dictate who shouldn't and who should.
Yeah.
I think it should be an individual thing. I think that education, however, has a big hand in it, and the fact that finance dictates all your adult life, and yet we're not taught finance in school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's something that I actually want to talk about as well.
That's where I think the disparity would lie. Mm-hmm. But then others would say that that's something that you get educated for outside of school, which is why it comes back to families who are so-called disadvantaged but have a strong community or come from a place where they actually have to do some sort of hustling or commerce are at a higher advantage than those who literally think money comes out of an ATM or mum and dad's purse.
Yeah, of course.
Because they've never had to question where it came from.
So there is you can benefit from certain situation.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. You got the education.
Yeah.
Therefore, you have the tools. It's just a tool. Like it's either you have the tool or you don't have the tool.
Well, I believe that often when people try to answer this question by saying yes, you need money to make money, or no, you don't need money to make money, I believe that they bypass one important thing, which is privilege. Privilege comes at on the different forms.
Okay.
You know? And so being a male versus being a female, this is a privilege. You do have a privilege. You do
until you fit into something else, which is it depends what you have a privilege for. You don't have a privilege for everything.
Exactly, but take a community.
Yeah.
Growing up in I grew up in France, but Kenyan communities or English-speaking communities, when it comes down to different communities, community groups you have in Europe, so you most likely going to find them in an English-speaking country like England. Yeah. So I didn't have a Kenyan community around me.
No.
Felt the difference though. Felt the difference
that you didn't have your own community around you.
Because the energy that you have in a community, you don't have to agree with everything your community does.
But it's yours.
But there's opportunities.
That's true.
There's opportunities created that can be presented to you.
Yeah.
And that helps in itself.
Did you feel the difference when you went to the embassy and used to go to embassy dues and stuff?
Well, I didn't go enough there, but I did feel that if I was,
then it would have been the hookup.
It would, yeah.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that plays its part, and I believe it's important.
Yes.
And like I said, that's why I'm talking about privilege. So more than money in itself, though,
so
money
then
is really important.
Is connection a privilege then? Connections with your community.
Connections, it is. Yeah, it is a privilege. Not everybody. Some people have been
taken away from all of that.
Yeah, flee the country, and sometimes they have to part.
They've been scattered as a people. Yeah,
they've been scattered as a people, and that has an impact.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it does.
So I believe that, and could it be because a community in itself would generate enough money to create opportunities?
I must admit, looking back, a lot of my opportunities have come from my community.
Right. So it is important.
Whether it's even down to like somebody knows somebody who is in some...
Yeah.
Somebody knows a lawyer, somebody knows a doctor, somebody knows a dentist, somebody knows a teacher, somebody knows somebody who can get you with somebody.
Yeah, that's
it's a phone call away.
I would call it a macroeconomy. It's when you have like a small economy that's happening. That's true. Which is money. It's a form of money.
It's a form of access of you're right. It's a form of wealth, already,
and that creates other opportunities for you to be able to benefit from.
That's true.
Now,
if you're open to it.
And that's where the education comes as well into fruition.
Yeah.
Now, I'm really split between the yes and the no.
Why are you split?
Because it depends. I've seen from my own eyes people that really only money can take them from where they are first, and then from their education. But if there's not that, why
not education first?
You could do education first, but certain communities, certain people have been so plummeted so low, that deliberately, that the setback is so. You see it in South Africa and some of the places changing now, but very slowly.
Yeah.
Very extremely slowly. And you see the other, say the white community down there, some of the white community are
now
suffering.
Now they've been plummeted. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And education ain't going to rise them up out of that.
Exactly. And
that's true. They need a job.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's amazing documentary out there just, talking about it, like showing you the effects of it.
Of course, yeah.
And the condition they live into. It's that you need that person to give you this little access. And it's not cash in itself. It's
access, like the guy who got the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, but if now verbally speaking, word for word, I would go for a no, personally. You don't need money to make money.
It kind of makes me feel like you need to be known to get known.
Yeah.
It's that. And I shy away from ethoses that mean it's just an oxymoron. What do you mean? It's like you got to be big to get big. But then how do I get big?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's because of just the reluctancy to adhere to any of these kind of ideologies about money that don't make sense to what I'm doing. Like, if it don't make sense to what I'm doing or what I want to go after, I kind of just ignore it. And it might seem stupid, but that's just how I am. But I'm like, what do you mean? What if it means I can't go forward? I don't like it.
Well, the thing is,
because I'm like, how many people are you blocking with this ethos?
Well, okay, but here's the thing. It's true, and this is why I'm really split between the yes and the no, because I don't want to give you like a straight up yes.
I'm saying no for me because it sounds like I don't like it, so I'm gonna. And I know that just seems totally ignorant, because it'd be like, if that's the truth, then this is the truth. But then what if it's not?
Well,
when you can find so many examples in society of the opposite.
But one thing is true though. It's certain. All right. Certain ways to make money, whether you want to access the stock market, because everybody talk about the stock market. You know, put your money, on the stock market, invest your money in the stock market. And now, number one, you need to know what you're doing. No, not that it's that complicated. It's obviously, but you do have to, get your education, in place in order to know what you're doing.
And here we are back again, education.
However, but hold on. Even if you do have your education, certain stocks aren't affordable. They're not accessible to you. You can't access it. You're gonna need a certain amount of money in order. Not directly. And we know what that means.
You get a percentage of it. Yeah.
So there is its limitation in itself.
If you're patient, but then there's another game to that. There's the patience game. You know what I mean?
Well, it's running out now for a lot of people because.
Well, then that's just the stock market for you, though.
Back in the day, the time it took for you to get to a certain place in your life, financially speaking, it's taking double, triple the time now.
Yeah, people dying before they reach it.
Yeah, or sometimes 20 years in your face. Period. 30 years.
Do you feel like this?
And sometimes what happens, or what is seen as happens, see that when you calculate how much in average you're going to need for your retirement, you're like, hang on a minute, I'm going to wait 30 years to make that much. I need much more than that. It's, and I'm saying that
everything depends on what you're into.
Yeah.
We can't all be winning at the same time because not everything's popular at the same time.
Right. But then,
you see what I'm saying?
For some people, that could be their reality then.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's what I'm trying. That's why you have to be fair on that subject, because a lot of people are saying both statements,
For me, no, because I don't like the sound of it, and I feel like it's blocking my progress.
Yeah, exactly. Your own interpretation of it doesn't sit right with you.
No, so for me personally, I'm like, I'm not going to adhere to that belief, because if I do, then it's like I could stay here. Then that's it. That's my limit.
Yeah.
That's what it speaks of.
I believe where there's a will, there's a way, personally. But
that's how I'm like, if
you know,
it's we're gonna do this. We're gonna find a way.
Yeah, basically. So yes, but then if I check everything we've acquired over the years, did require
everything.
But did require money. It did. No, one thing did not.
Hang on,
So
I'm gonna have a think about that.
Even when you're doing your podcast now you want to do a podcast. Now you want this, you know, lighting and microphone and cable for your microphone and you know the arm so it looks good and the chair so it looks decent and you know and you on your table this way and that way, not that way, and this type of table so it looks great, or you know, and then you're on the computer for it so then you can record your podcast with no technical issues.
Okay, I get you, smarty pants. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
but there's another thing as well. You got to make money. You got to spend money to make money. Yeah, but how much? It kind of alludes to how much of this you are and if you can afford that. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
not that this took 2 years to save up for, that took a year to save up for. This is second hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was reclaimed.
This is reclaimed. This is IKEA. What, should I continue?
Well, hey, this is why, because you were saying about, I think you just talked about previously being resourceful.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then
part of the education.
That leads me to the education part now.
Go.
So now, as far as right, the education, do you believe that this education is accessible to everybody or not?
No.
Why not?
Because they don't put it in regular schools.
Should they?
Yes.
Why?
Because it dictates your adult life. It doesn't matter what type of adult you're gonna be.
Who you asking?
Finance.
Who you asking?
What do you mean?
I mean, think about it. Who you asking to do this? Think about who write those programs in itself. Those people.
I'm not talking about those. They got to sit down somewhere. I'm talking about letting people.
Point. Yeah, but you got to be realistic about it. Think about it.
Who makes the curriculum?
Who makes the curriculum?
Old teachers and old politicians.
Are they even have? Are they? I don't even like to say that, but investment-oriented people.
They probably are in their personal life, and they probably think. Listen, it's different people, and I think that they probably think they've come from an era where they just think that, you know, finance is like politics. You don't talk about it. Which leads to you having a thing where if we've already decided we're not talking about it, then how's anyone supposed to learn about it? See what I'm saying?
But then...
And if you're the type of people who are actually running what educates the next education, the next generation, then that would mean that you're going to set it up in a way there's going to be certain things you never talk about.
Do you really believe that whoever writes curriculum all the type of people to even themselves be educated about money management?
No.
Right. Because it's not the goal. Like,
no.
They made it clear when
some people don't need money management. They have access and power. They have bad habits that have been able to be propped up by their access, by their power. So they've never really had to be good at it. Yeah. They've just been able to get by.
All right.
You see what I'm saying?
Those type of people can be a problem for their own children, because.
But we know people like that.
Yeah, I know we know, but
they live their whole life. They live their whole life
going to transmit anything in your education or anything.
No.
Because they can't.
No.
Because whoever writes a curriculum, I doubt that they are, let's say, can I say money savvy?
I don't think so. I'd be surprised.
Right. All right. So come back to what we just talked about.
I'd say a majority of them probably are not.
All right.
based on what they want people to know. But then there's another thing. There's another thing, like a conspiracy, like they don't want you to know.
But they
know, but they don't want you to know. I'm like, they probably just don't know.
Do you believe that there is a secret society that knows about it and trust, like, you know, or only giving this education to the people that are part of that society? I know there is. I'm just saying.
Well, I think there is as well.
Yeah.
I think there's many societies that know well about it, and they just, it's a community thing. It's nothing personal.
Get back to communities then.
It's a community thing. It's like if you're in the community or you're not. Period. Yeah. Like
which then can be then if you don't have access, then it's fair to say that you will not ever, or you less likely to reach the certain wealth points that some people can.
Bon, look, do you remember, okay, if you do, before we even had our first release, musically speaking, okay, remember what we were always told by people? It's who you know, not what you know.
I remember that.
That is something that the music industry lives and dies by. It's who you know, not what you know. So you mean to tell me education means nothing? You mean to tell me what I know about anything that makes sense in my life means nothing, because as long as I know the right person, I'll get there. You mean to tell me it doesn't matter how many singing lessons I have to go to, how many piano lessons I've gone to, it don't mean nothing unless I know somebody.
I believe for certain industry,
what was my response to that? Where there's a will, there's a way. We do not come from a musical family. We do not come from a family who is like, this person's that. No, nobody. In fact, they're staunch against music. Okay, music is a hobby.
We suffer the consequences.
Of course we did, but guess what? Guess who released though?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
It's either you're going to say, I know there's a gate, but I'm going through it anyway, or you're going to just say to yourself, well, they're all right, and I'm just gonna, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna find myself
I don't know, I'm gonna go and do something else that doesn't fulfill me, but it fits what I'm dealing with here.
Yeah.
There's always a first, okay? There's always a first.
Yeah.
And if it's you, it's you. And that's how I feel about it.
Well, okay. Then.
And the same, that's how I feel about this statement.
Yeah.
The same way I feel about that statement, which is, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Now, once we got in, we started to get to know people.
Yeah.
And funny enough, it was what we knew that introduced us to people, not who we knew. It's what we did.
Yeah. So then, do you believe that you can learn? Like, even though things aren't fully accessible for some people, do you believe you have the trust into this society to learn about, investment, money management?
Now, yes.
Online?
Ooh,
or do you take courses? Who do you trust? Really? I mean, everybody.
I'm going to go back to the free.
A lot of people act like they have money already. And they like to make you feel that, okay, if you haven't been making money, it's your fault, and you haven't done the right thing, and you have to take responsibility for it. It's mental things, and I guess what?
And how have you been an adult this long and haven't been saving up all your money?
Right, exactly.
It's like,
and if you've done this and that, and you've done the wrong thing till now, what you want to do. But anyway, I'll stop there because I've got a course. So down below, and just click the link, and it's free for the first 10 minutes. However, the course is 2 weeks long. So then after that, you might just put your bank account details, and you might want to cash on to give me the cash first. 30% deposit, and then it's refundable for the next 5 seconds. And you know what I mean. Okay. So who do you trust?
Who do I trust?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do it really slowly now.
Go.
Because there's a few people who I actually listen to.
All right.
What I like to do whenever I'm approaching a new subject.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple of subjects now that I've been trying to educate myself on.
Yeah.
Okay. So for finance, of which I'm still trying to educate myself on because I was not taught it in school. And even though I wasn't taught it by my parents or anybody in my family either, I was not. However, there's just been sayings. This is the difference. There's been sayings going on, like sayings like, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Never let one hand feed you.
Yeah.
And then just backed up into the distance.
But
that's it.
You're saying these things, but are they true though?
Yes.
What you've heard, it's true, right?
Those things are true, but guess what? 'Tis not enough.
What would be enough?
Enough is to say, okay, I'm going to give the basics. Why you should save your money. What you should save your money for. When you should spend your money. How you should spend your money. Okay? What you should invest your money in. What is a bad investment? What the hell is an investment? What's an asset? What's a depreciable? Like, what are all of these things?
Yeah.
Then if you want to delve deeper, you can get deeper into each of those. But the basics, what's a bill? What are taxes? Who has to pay taxes? When do you have to pay taxes? When do you start paying?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? All these things.
I know.
What are loans? What do loans look like? Even if they're small, is it still a loan? What's debt? What are different things of debt? Like if someone had said to me, mortgage is debt.
Yeah.
Student loans are debt.
Yeah.
Though, funny enough, I had a history teacher who, I kid you not, every single lesson he would find a way to segue into the lesson the fact that he's still paying off his student loan.
He's bitter. It was bitter.
Listen,
I'll say was because I'm sure he paid it back since.
I hope so.
Still to this day.
Mr. Allman, I hope you paid off every penny and I hope you're living it up with the extra money.
Yeah,
Listen.
and subscribe while you're at it, if you don't mind.
Yes, please. Okay. Yes, please, sir. Okay. And it's funny how you finish in school, but they're always going to be sir to you. Like, it doesn't matter how old you get.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah.
So, and his constant complaining stuck with me.
Yeah.
Because I think I've always been looking to find out more about finance, but I just haven't had a place to, especially back then, I did not have anywhere where I could, get it from. I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad as soon as it came out because my dad read it.
The book
it was
the
book at the time and my parents read it and they were like, you should read this book. So... Anyway,
it's still going,
Of course it is. It's solid.
He hasn't changed his tune now.
No.
It's fun. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
So someone you could trust.
Yeah.
Providing.
But you still have to put it in context.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That's the thing about each of these things.
That's the thing with trust,
I think
you can.
I think it's less about trust and more about perspective and just saying, what am I here to trust this person for? Is this person educating me about something, or am I getting them to personally invest my money for me? Because that's a you thing.
Yeah, definitely. But the reason what I'm saying,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I'm talking about trust because ultimately, all right, this is gonna go. You follow somebody, they say, oh, I've done this and that. You get, they coax you into their programs, the course, or whatever it is. You follow it. It works. You trust them, right?
Yeah. Except for the fact that sometimes you don't trust somebody. It's just they've said something that speaks to you and you're like, I'm going to give you a chance.
No, definitely. I understand that. It doesn't work. You stop trusting them. I'm talking about most of the people, the way they're right. But check this out though. That's really, really funny, right? And that's why it's very complex. Because if you were to even invest on the stock market, most probably the first time you're going to invest on the stock market, you will lose some money. That's just what it is. It's no harm's done. However, you stop trusting, you pack up everything.
Most people do.
Right. And that's where they go wrong.
Yeah.
Right. This is the thing. Like you say, perception, innit?
And context. Have you got the money to be floating on the stock market? Because if you haven't, then just stay out the game, and that's okay. There's levels to this, and if you're not at the top, that's okay.
And how far did you listen?
Guess how many of us aren't as well? You know what I mean? It's like it's so funny how much of us are in poverty, or close to poverty, but how little of us just turn around and admit it. Like, I am 3 payments. If I don't pay these next 3, I'm out of here.
I'm in the streets, son. Yeah,
this is who I am.
Yeah, that's true.
But we all out here shuffling around, acting come on.
Because there is, and that's probably where the education come into fruition. There's unfortunately, it's like these fake rules where you must work hard. You know, good person works hard, and if you work hard, you're a good person. But the same thing with finance. Like, except if you lost your money, then you must have done something wrong. Not that there was an unfortunate event and you need to just bounce back,
or you did something wrong, and guess what? That happens.
Well, in the world of making money, it's usually 90% of the thing you're going to do going to be wrong, but the 10%, specifically in business, is going to be so good that it would outweigh the 90%.
I think that
this difficult concept to understand, specifically if you're not used to this. Can I call it entrepreneurial mind or whatever?
I'm going to say independence, because there's people who I know who are really good with money. They are 9-to-5ers, and then I know people who are really good with money and they are not 9-to-5ers, and then I know people who are bad with money and they are not 9-to-5ers. And then the same for 9-to-5. I know I've seen this at work, so I wouldn't say that. I think it's about ownership of your finances.
When you say ownership, what do you mean exactly?
Realizing that it's in your power, and it's in your. Once you come into your own, I think that people develop a lot of. You develop a lot of parts of yourself. You develop, physically. A lot of people focus on the physique.
Yeah.
Making sure they develop themselves physically, making sure they look after their body, and I think in that self, it's great. But there's so many segments to your life. Yeah. One of them's got to be finance, though. Yeah. And there's a development and a growth that you have to go through there as well.
But unfortunately, and that's what makes it probably very difficult for people to learn about finance. Also, there is more favorable time. Some generation had more favorable time. Now, doesn't mean that the one that succeeded through those times didn't do well. They did very well, because there's still some people that didn't do well at all in those favorable times. That's something to take into considerations. Yeah. However, the thing is, I think that when it comes down to you learning about making money, I believe that it's a game of patience. It's a game of patience, and
but in the meantime, what do you do?
This is the problem. This is what it is. It's also the fact that most of the people are impatient, because the life we are living right now, it's about things have to be instantaneous. Immediately, you have to get them to sweets, Okay. You have to get things shouldn't take that long.
Well, it's like us with this. It's like when you start a new anything. Like, we've started a new YouTube channel. Yeah. We to date have 14 subscribers.
Don't say this.
Don't say it. 14 people. Holler at us. Okay.
Oh, you should never say that. That's gonna hurt the channel. You know that, right?
It's not gonna do a damn thing.
Listen, I'm trying to do that.
And you know what?
It's gonna hurt the channel. I'm telling you.
And we started what in like January.
See that pressure? There's pressure.
I know. I'm sweating. Okay.
But that's what people. You know what you say, but people don't want to talk about how they close to poverty, because this mentality.
We close.
You shouldn't be appearing that you're starting. You should have already arrived. Right? You should have arrived. It's disgusting, by the way. You should already arrive.
It's my favorite thing. Okay, look.
When did you hear about these things? The first time I heard about this was on what was that TV show?
I don't know, babe.
North TV show.
Circle
what was it again?
Back.
Shameless. Okay. There you go. This is where I heard that.
Circle back. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So what? That's my point. We have 14 subscribers. Like, I'm not gonna play like I have 14,000 subscribers. I don't. That's why I tell you, subscribe. Yeah. Okay. But I'll still tell you, subscribe, come 14,000, watch me.
Yeah, not even 14 million. So, it's going to be ongoing. That's what's going to be.
Okay, it helps the channel. But you know what? It helps the pockets. Yeah. I don't know what else to say to you. We're trying to grow something here, but then it's okay.
Money.
It's okay to grow, though. It's okay to be at the beginning stages.
But you can't be seeing growth. This is the problem.
You can't be seen to be growing.
To be growing, exactly.
Unfortunately, we're all. It's like saying, "Oh, you can't be seen to be growing," but we're all like going through growing pains, and we're trying to act like we're big. Really, you're not big.
But you know what? This is really funny because even in the education or in true education in how you make money, you're going to growth is one of the main parts.
Yeah, and patience.
And it has to start there. And guess what? Go there.
Yeah.
But when you start there, which happens for people who have any returns, they often end up there.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. But no one wants to talk about it.
No, there's a lot of people like out of people who win the lottery, you hear it all the time.
All the time.
You know, when they go and they find out like, oh, this person won the lottery, let's go back and just, see where are they now? Lottery winners. Okay. And like,
yeah, you hear
out of like 7 of them, 2 of them's got their money later. Still.
And
I remember the ones who had their money. Okay. I watched the show. 2 people only. One was a couple. Okay. For some reason, she had too many garden gnomes. Don't ask. It was her thing.
She fit the profile.
Oh, girl. But
playing lottery, garden gnomes.
But I think they went wild for a year, and then they turned around and was like, "Look, we are big people.
Yeah.
Okay, we are too old to burn through this before we die. We need to slow this down. Yeah. We had our fun. Let's get this together." And I think the husband and wife sat down and was like, "Yeah, you're right. We've got too many garden gnomes now. Let's pull back, okay?" And they were like, "No, he'd bought several cars. He'd bought ponies. He'd bought horses. What? Oh, the place was atrocious, but doesn't matter. Not my thing."
Trust is trash,
And that's my point.
Yeah.
Money is an amplifier. So whoever you are,
you already are, yeah. So if you've overspent, you're saying that if you're someone
turned up. So if you've got problems in your life,
by 20, 100 or whatever.
If you have problems in your life, instead of trying to rush to the money, you might want to just handle these areas as not to amplify them. That's how I think. That's my inner dialogue. Like, you know what? It doesn't matter. I could be a bit more patient because I can fix that, and that before I amplify that.
What?
Some things I don't want to amplify right now.
Patience is your problem.
Then it's just your problem. Like,
no,
that's it. It's your problem.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. I've been impatient before, and it was all my problem.
Yeah.
No one else was handling it.
So when you get money, you won't become more patient, because a lot of the time it's like the waiting time, the waiting game. This is really difficult for most of the people, and then they find themselves in a situation where they finally get the money, but then all these impatience come rushing through, and then
it's like going on a date with someone and really fancying them, and then you get your first time with them, and then you just like 2 seconds in and explosions. You need to just pump your brakes and handle that before you come up on this date, and just you can ride on through with some decorum. That's all this is about. Just handle that.
So the education now.
I think patience is education.
Yeah.
I think that there should be a whole lesson on patience.
Do you think a psychological lessons, education should be done? Because you hear it all the time, even when you are on the stock market and doing some investment, that there's a huge psychological side of it. Is really, really important in order for you to thrive and do well.
Yeah.
And this to me, because they don't teach you any. This is the problem. We have a lot of broken souls, out there.
Yeah.
And also partly is because when you go to school, you only taught one thing. And I think for specifically technical job is good school can be great, because, there's things you can learn that you wouldn't learn anywhere else, providing you go into the right school for it though. And now when it comes down to the psychological side of things, I never once heard, in any school, them deciding it was important to educate people teach people how to feel about certain situations and how to handle certain situations more so. And only recently in our government are worrying about this side of things. A lot of people will end up to commit suicide, and often money related on certain, poverty
or community related. They
related.
Feel like they've been ousted in some way or ostracized,
exactly.
They don't deal with it well.
Exactly. And what I'm saying is and it's so linked to how you're going to make money, because some say that in order for you to sell, which means if you do succeed to be a good salesman or saleswoman, you then can potentially make a lot of money if you know how to sell things.
Yes.
So that is something that is a great quality.
It's a skill.
It's a skill. But you need to know the psychology behind, selling, how people perceive you approaching them to sell them something.
Yes.
What I'm saying is that some things that is not taught at school. So
unless you do business management or something like that. You're talking. It's too late.
It's too late.
It's too late.
How old are you going to be once you're going to say that?
Yeah, you're right.
Now, do you believe that the education system, now it's time that we do teach children money making and psychology?
Okay.
Should it really be is it their place?
Not money making. It's not about money making. I'd say it's about finance management.
So finance management, yeah.
Because money making's money making.
No, I understand. Finance management. Yeah.
So even the person who is destined to pack shelves, as my teacher used to put it, okay, it was like, I saw your test results, you're going to be Sainsbury's packing shelves. That's where I'll see you in 5 years.
This is so many things, but let's face it, the wage of a teacher, it's nothing to really,
Of course. Of course.
So even if you do end up, I never liked when teachers say those things. Even if I works, at least I can be like, the manager, eventually have managerial position and I'll earn more than you. And it didn't take me to go above my A-level or baccalaureate or university study to get that.
Yeah.
So, I say, so please, I don't have to pay that. So that for me, that's in itself, that's the proof that, what the education, when it comes on to what's one of the most important things in your life, is not even there. That's crazy. I never understood when teachers, allow themselves the liberty to say that to the kids.
Well, but I had some key teachers. He was still my favorite. One of them.
Subscribe then. Sir.
Subscribe.
You're allowed to subscribe. It's allowed.
So no, I would.
Well, at least you're not back in the shops.
We don't know, and if you are, then bless it. Okay, that was a full circle moment.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay, so I doubt it. He didn't have the personality for it.
Well, what would happen if he did have to?
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah. You know what would happen, like many people. That's why I say psychology is very important.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm not saying psychology, and I wouldn't call it psychology because I've actually studied psychology for one of my A-levels. But...
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I just did it as an extra because I had extra time.
It was available?
It was available.
Okay.
Are you trying to say something?
No,
it was available.
Really I actually think you're really good at it.
It's okay.
No, I do.
It was an interest, so I'm going to put it there. I was interested in it.
Yeah.
But I don't think that it's the right thing to teach people because in itself, if you're not interested, it's boring. I think people skills need to be taught. So that would include how to talk to people, how to make friends, being a human studies. I don't know what you want to call it. I don't know what title they're going to give it. How to be kind, what empathy is, what depression is. Just give it a little bit of a mix and touch on it to make sense to some kids. Because I remember like when I went for it, it was a bit, I did it as an extra, but some people were like, why?
Yeah.
This is more studies, please. Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
So it doesn't translate to other children like that. It just looks like more boring stuff. But if you give it to them in a way where it's like, no, we learn this like how we learn RE, it's just things you need to know for life.
Yeah.
Then it's a little bit better.
But you know what? You can make things really fun. I mean, why don't you get the kids to play Monopoly more often at school? This is a great game.
Yeah.
It teaches you things.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
It does.
But no, they can't. They can play anything else, but that you wouldn't know. So you can make things fun. I mean, you know, education can be fun.
It can be.
Depending on how you do it.
It can be. I just think that they have to learn, and teaching kids patience, I think it needs to be taught.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think you can teach them that through having them have a garden or grow things, something to grow.
Yeah, true.
And I'm saying this as somebody, when I went to like nursery school, I was great. I went to a good nursery school though. Mm-hmm. But when I went to nursery school, and we did not have a garden space. Yeah. Okay. But because it was like really, really just, they kept that for football and rugby, but they were like, no planting anything here.
Yeah.
But what they made us do was grow stuff.
Yeah.
And all you need is a yogurt pot.
Well, they did the same thing with us. You know,
exactly.
In France, they're quite okay when it comes on to that.
But then it shows the kid patience.
Yeah, it does. I don't know if they do it for the patience of it all, though.
Of course they do. You have to wait like a whole how many days, weeks or whatever before your thing comes through. And then there's always one kid whose thing didn't really come through yet.
But what I'm saying is like it could be done more like for the you know, the how things grow in the world. You know?
I would do it more for patience.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but that's going to determine. This is my point. What it's everything. It's also delivery. It's how it's done and what's the motivation behind it.
The motivation behind it would be to teach the kids patience. But yes, on top of that, you're going to learn the nature of things, how things grow, which means
because it's like Cobra Kai, you know.
Yeah.
Two forms of karate. It depends which one you want to go. You know, go with.
It does, but at the same time, I would say.
And they have
I would say
outcomes.
that there's still fundamentals though.
There is fundamentals, yeah, that's true.
And I think as a fundamental, you need to learn about the nature of things.
Yeah.
And the nature of things usually have time as a concept to it, like as some sort of restraint to it. So it doesn't matter how much you want it, like it's going to take however long it's going to take. It's like watching paint dry. It doesn't dry instantly.
Yeah.
You're going to just have to wait.
But what it is that there is what I think is going to teach children patience, the game of patience, is you have to relate it for them. Doing a bunch of stuff where they have to end up to wait and so-called be patient. It's not necessarily, this won't necessarily speak to them. It's how things have to be pointed out, you know, in order to have its effect, or they can come to realization, say, oh, okay, when I wait, this is what happened. Yeah. Not just, you know, oh, wait, it was so long.
No, but that's why I said grow something, because then you can eat it.
Yeah, and have a reward in there. Yeah.
All kids like to eat.
Some schools, to be fair, some schools do that and some don't.
Well, that's my point.
It depends.
But then there's other ways to teach patience. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I would say, it needs to be reward based, so that kids know, like, if you're patient, this happens for you.
Because I believe that there's fundamentals like mathematics and the your mother tongue, language that you're supposed to learn. So if you English, obviously, if you're in America or in England, that's going to be for you English, obviously. If you're in France, it will be French. So those are things, basics that you need to master and you need to learn. Yeah. So I understand this, because how are you going to need it by the time you're an adult?
Okay.
But I think
that math. Let's talk about math.
But hold on a minute. Money being such a crucial thing, yet
I thought that money, honestly, was a little bit more crucial than math. I thought that math is good, and I think math is a foundation. But fundamentally, why a lot of children clock out of maths is because it has no bearing to their life. They haven't related it back to their lives. If you added finance into that, then they would be able, but it's more money management.
Yeah.
They might be able to be like a bit more receptive to it, because they'd be like, okay, this could be my pocket money. Boom, this is what I'm going to do with my pocket money. Oh, if I save that, then I'll have that by the end of the school year. But relate it back to something that actually...
You must relate it, exactly. Because everything you teach, it's about how it's going to speak to each of the individual, in the classroom.
Yeah.
We don't take things all the same, but there's a universal way in which you can do it.
Yeah.
So at least it speaks to everybody, but I don't think it's done.
No, it's not done.
So that's why I think that the flaws in the education are personally, because how important it is for you in your adult life, those things.
Yeah. Because
a lot of things I'm sure that many of us would start early on instead of waiting for so long.
Yes.
To turn around and find yourself in a place in your life where you have such a little of time to be able to make up enough money in order for you to prepare your retirement and do certain stuff.
And etc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
we could only just make sure that we educate ourselves for now, because you never know how long you're going to live. And you have to make sure that whatever you can pass down to your children. Not pass it down as in wait until you die and then give them some sort of trust fund. Tell them when you learn dope things.
Well, yeah, that's I think it's a great advice. But that leads me to a question then.
Go.
Well, do you think that we have an obligation as parents to our children to give them inheritance or educations when it comes on to finance, or both? Some people, all right, give an example that came a lot, that people said a lot, and I was like, okay, slow down on this one. Bill Gates, okay? Saying that he doesn't believe that he has to give the majority of his wealth to his children, and actually I think he's going to give them just maybe something like 10 million, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. However, a lot of people trying to take this stance by thinking like, oh, well, I've done well in my life, so Bill Gates says that, so I'm going to do the same or something similar. However, 10 million is still 10 million in this world today. To be left 10 million when you die,
when someone dies,
or someone dies,
it's still a lot of money.
When someone dies, it's still a lot of money.
Still puts you in the 10%.
Right. Still puts you in the 10%. What's the 10% then?
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
So look it up. I've got it anyway. I'm going to carry on with this. So that was the question.
Go.
Is it for you to say, okay, my children can just can give them my inheritance and expect that by you giving them your inheritance that it will propel them to where you personally as a parent see where they're supposed to be going to go?
Okay, this is the thing about that. This is the thing about that. My main thing as a parent is I do not want my children to live in... I don't want them to live in self-made poverty through addiction.
Yeah.
I don't want them to be on the pole.
Yeah.
And that goes for males and females.
Mm-hmm.
Stay away from the pole.
Yeah.
And stay away from human trafficking.
Absolutely.
Or any of which that world.
The crime life. Yeah.
If they can do that and they can arrive with a peaceful mind and being able to have enough courage and bravery and knowledge to be able to pursue the things they want to pursue in life.
Mm-hmm.
And at least, if not achieve it, be on the way to. So they were at least doing something that they wanted to do. I would say, okay, I'm all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as far as I'm going to leave them this money and I want them to take this and flip that and that's a lot to want.
Yeah.
in the hands of people who just aren't you.
Yeah.
You can want whatever you want, but these are people.
But
they might not want that for themselves. Once you're dead and gone, they're going to do what they want with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's probably why he's only leaving them 10 each. Because he's like, you ain't gonna do what I want with this.
But the thing is, you have to rationalize what you say. What you say, because I've heard people saying this thing, like even proud of it, like be like, yeah, you see, like I almost as
some
if
people no,
this is why I'm not gonna give you nothing, but at the same time,
no, some people that's their thing. Like,
if you've been, hang on, like I said, slow down. I mean, if I educate you, you go to what are the prestigious schools, because you remember it's about access, right?
Yeah, Eton, Princeton,
and all Princeton, etc. Harvard or whatever the school is, and you don't even have to work hard to get there. You just get in there just because, off of my name, because of who I am. You know what I mean? And you got all the tutors and any help you had growing up and that. And I'm not saying, it's not to say that wealthy family don't have the issues. I'm sure they do, and I'm sure that some go through horrific stuff that is specifically because they're so known or untold. No one wants to talk about it because out there you're talking against, your dad or your mom,
Okay.
So I'm sure that happened. However, what happened as well is the fact that this access, there's access you get all the way through your life.
Okay, this is the thing about access.
But you got the access, but I know what you're gonna say.
What am I gonna say?
What you're gonna say. That is access, not yours. I get it.
No, it was not. Do you know I wasn't gonna say that? I was gonna say, listen, many are the John Lyon and Eton goers who've had family who can afford their education 10 times over, and has still come out there with D's and E's.
D's and E's, but
and
D's, everyone knows D's and E's in Eton don't mean nothing.
You went there.
You went to where? Okay.
But then until you have to access certain places, and then it means something. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but look, okay.
So it doesn't matter.
But look, poverty line. Yeah, here.
Yeah.
Your life. Not even here. Your life. Just all the way there. Even if you go down.
No, but that's your money. That's not your life.
No, but
that's why there's misery there.
But okay. No,
you still got to get your other things.
We're talking about finance.
Yeah, and I'm saying
about where you are. We're not talking about personal life.
Yeah, but then that's my point.
Yeah.
If money is an amplifier and your personal life is in disarray.
Yeah.
And it don't matter what mummy daddy gave you.
Yeah.
You still a waste out here in these streets.
Of course, I get that. I understand.
Aren't you just a waste amplified?
No, but I understand. I understand what you're saying. However, okay.
Luxuriating a Bugatti. I get it.
Okay.
But
no. Hold on. Hold on.
It doesn't get any easier.
Even if you say, oh, my daddy's only leave me 1 mil. Do you know how you sound in them streets?
Of course.
Do you know why it's 1 million?
That's what people criticize Trump for.
Come on.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
1 mil.
Yeah.
So already, now we know that majority of wealthy people try their hardest to put the children to enroll the children into rings of education or places where you learn the do's and don'ts.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they will do it, but you don't.
The attempt is there to educate them.
You don't hear it as often.
Yeah.
When you don't.
You don't hear it because they don't talk about it. Exactly. Because who's talking about it? It's a shame.
Someone somewhere got this. Anyway, I've heard stories about, some, wealthy people, and yes, there is, some have children that are terrible when it comes on to money, but they're still a part of that ring, that loop.
The thing is, okay, let's talk. Once money isn't an option anymore, once it's not a thing to you, you're just left with yourself.
Yeah, you are.
If you haven't got much going on, then you haven't got much going on.
The truth is, I don't think the conversation we're having today, you need money to make money. It's something that
would be the same for if you haven't.
A lot of wealthy people that are wealthy, already been wealthy for generations, going to really, maybe I'm wrong, but going to really listen to this anyway.
I don't listen. Are they going to be listening to a flipping podcast with two?
Exactly. So
2 black people from the middle of bloody nowhere. Like, who gives a shit? Okay.
Right, exactly.
Maybe they will, maybe they won't. That's not the point. Look, all I'm saying is subscribe. Okay.
Subscribe
before you go.
But yeah.
No, I mean it. So I was just saying.
But I'm only joking.
I'm not.
But I mean it though.
On your way out.
In a joking way, I mean it.
I mean
That's
it.
what I say. I know you meant it.
I mean it.
That's why we try not to offend anybody here.
Please, we're really not. We're just having a conversation. Whatever. I can't live my life like this. I'm trying not to offend anybody. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can't live like that. That in itself is an offense.
It is an offense.
I'm offended now. We're all offended. Gosh, I can't wait till this period of life goes. Jesus.
So, I don't know if it's going to go anytime soon.
It needs to.
So tell me, what do you think then?
What?
Inheritance?
Okay,
or
this
education?
is tough. If I know my child is
Both,
a waste
maybe?
bag.
I don't know.
If I know my child's a waste bag, we all know our kids.
Yeah.
Okay, we know who's who.
Yeah.
If you know already, and you're say getting up to 80,
yeah,
and they're pushing 50 already. They're pushing 50, 60. You know if they're gonna. You better just bet on a grandchild or a nephew or a niece or somebody else, because it depends what your plans are. You can't take it with you.
Don't you think you should take the responsibility as a parent if your children behave a certain way and end up to be waste? Then maybe
it was your fault.
Yeah, you didn't educate them the way you should have.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And I'll be one of those old people. It's my fault. I should have never let you go kayaking. Whatever the hell.
Do you think Bill,
whatever the hell they say.
Do you think Bill is not leaving anything to his children because of that reason? Could it be that reason as well? Or
maybe.
Do you think it's something he truly believes?
Do you know? Only he knows.
Only he knows. Yeah.
Only he knows. But as far as I'm concerned, it depends on who is in the family at the time.
Yeah.
Because if it's my children, I'll leave them a little something. Yeah.
I think it's only normal to leave your children.
I'll leave them a little something. Let's not play any games. If I can't do it, I'm going to give you a book of all the things that I know that you didn't listen to. Education.
But you know what? Honestly, I thought that there was a publicity stunt.
You think so?
Yeah.
You don't believe a word of it? And you think they're like, no, they'll be running the world in the next 20. I don't think they disclosed everything. I don't see why they should. Think about it. Why should they?
No, it's not that.
Why did that even come up?
But if you're going to start talking about it, that people
who started?
No, hold on. People are going to ask questions.
But who started?
But what I did not like about why I don't like those things when people are saying those things, because you are a highly influential person.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna get some dummies out there thinking that they can replicate what you're doing, even though they're far from the billions.
Those dummies were going to follow if they weren't going to follow his dumb thing he said, they were going to follow some other dumb. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
They're destined for it.
No, but that's true.
They were searching for it to validate their dumb ideas. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. You have to live with your choices. Your kids
It's like Zuckerberg
are going to feel whatever they feel.
When Zuckerberg says that, the majority of his wealth is actually donated to charity. Yeah, several years after he reached already $1 billion, and and even if I give 70% of my wealth, to charities. When you make billions, you know what 30% of billions is?
I know.
So come on, and people are like, you see, that's the way to. No, not for you.
That's another thing. That's my point. Okay, let me get back to this thing about the percentages. Because that's another thing. We hear all of these billion and trillionaires saying these things, and then we, as what do you call it? What do you call it when you're double digiter? Okay, we out here double digiting, 3 digiting.
Oh, he's investing in Bitcoin. Let me go.
And you go with your
get some Bitcoins.
and you go with your £10.
And you go and then, no, do you think it's £10?
And roll that dice.
You 5,000 you spend 2 years to save. You go now, and then Bitcoins shoot up. Yeah, you made money. Oh my God! And then next day shit back down. And oh no! Why? Because he took all his money out of Bitcoins. I mean,
you
come
are
on,
good
people.
with 5. Okay, I was talking 50. Okay.
You know, some people will put down like straight up
Of course they do.
5,000, even more. 10.
Hey! At this point. I'm trying to speak for the majority of people.
Yeah.
Okay. Slash myself. Okay. So no, we're rolling in there with 50. Okay.
Yeah.
Not 1,000. 50.
Yeah.
And we regretting it the next day. All I'm saying is you can't ball how they ball, so don't try to.
Exactly. Education. Do you believe in Bitcoin?
Oh God, that's just like the age-old question. Hang on, let me just give you this thing and a jig and a bob, okay? These are the stats. The world's richest 1% have more than twice as much wealth as 6.9 billion people.
Oh, how many billions on the planet? 7.3
or 7.5?
Something like that, yeah.
Almost half of humanity is living on less than £5.50 a day, and that's in dollars. See, I hear numbers like that and I think to myself, are you trying to say I'm wealthy for being on more than £5.50 a day? Is that what you're trying to say to me? Because I don't feel that.
It's really funny. So why in the hell
is our rent so high?
Yeah, that's true, but it's not just but no,
why is my mortgage so high?
But before even paying rent and you got a mortgage. At least you're lucky you've got a mortgage. You got debt, didn't you?
Yeah.
You're lucky to have
debt.
But you know what? Hold on a minute. Think about it. And everybody don't want to appear like they're going to start in a world where one man owns so much.
Okay, in a world where then this is for the people who are feeling low and feeling like they're ashamed and they are what does my mother like to say? Financially embarrassed. If you're financially embarrassed, remember this: almost half of humanity is living on less than £5.
It's destiny.
$5.50 a day.
When you don't have money, it's fate.
It's not. It's not that. Stop.
I'm joking.
I'm trying to speak to the people.
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay.
So go ahead.
So when you feel ashamed because you can't afford to, like us, remember when we went to Nice and then they were you can only take out €50 out of the ATM if you use the ATM. And we were like, I don't have €50 to take out.
The thing is,
I just want to take out €20.
I don't work by 50s.
I don't go in 50s.
I don't skip the 10s, it's 10, 20.
I don't do that.
30,
On a good day, I take 40 out. Where are we going with 50? And we just couldn't take out any money.
Yeah.
And we just had to just humbly come back to the table and be like, well, we're going to watch you guys eat because
it's going to be salad today.
The way it's not going to be salad. It's water, please. And
yeah.
But honest to God,
it is embarrassing. It is.
It was embarrassing until I thought, you know what? I'm the dopest one. I am the most entertaining thing that happened to all of y'all this evening. Okay, remember the girl who came in? She couldn't. Yep.
Yeah.
That's me. Remember my name. Please subscribe. Stream. What do you want me to do about it? That's where I'm at right now.
But that's where a lot of people are feeling ashamed of it.
Well, then I don't. I'm right here with you.
Partly what they don't learn about making money in the first place.
Because to look like you're learning would mean that you don't know. And then if to admit you don't know would mean to admit that you are financially embarrassed. Well done.
Psychology. There you go. They should be teaching psychology.
Okay, you have a point on that one. Do not. We 50%ers. That's not. Do you know what? That means that the people who are struggling in the Western world aren't even part of that 50%.
No, they're not.
That's crazy.
They're not. It's a cold world out there. It is.
Yeah.
It's nothing to be ashamed of.
So if you're financially growing, if you're going through your financial hardship, if you are seedling in the game, if you are not even a seedling and you have nothing there, okay, don't feel any way about it. that is not the way for you to move forward. That is not the way for you to even begin to say, I'm going to even attempt to build wealth, is by feeling embarrassed about beginning. It's like having a bad, like when you have rotten teeth, but you're already at the dentist. Like, don't worry about it. You're already here. You're already trying to sort it out.
Yeah, you try to keep your mouth closed.
Don't worry about it. Smile. We're trying to fix this. So what's the problem?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But it's the reality. I mean, we're saying this and we know that it's easier said than done.
I do this because I'm
pressure on you and making you feel like
we've been embarrassed a lot.
Yeah, of course.
We have had the pleasure and displeasure of being humiliated quite a few times, or attempted to be humiliated, but because it's just like
never worked because it's ethos is different. So,
all I'm thinking about is all I'm thinking about is my my memoirs. I'm like, this is going in the memoirs. It's going to be so dope because remember when? I'm thinking
I won't give you the pleasure.
I don't even think that. I'm like, this is going to be a story to tell.
To give you the pleasure to see me embarrassed, so whatever.
No, I'm not even going to hide it and be like, ooh, you really are going to hell. But guess what? That is just going to embellish my story. It's going to make my success even that much more sweeter. That's how I see it. Because I'm like, oh, remember when you had the nerve to say that to me? Like I wasn't a human.
Yeah.
I'm still here and I'm thriving now, and I haven't given up. I'm still here and
still in the trenches. Yeah, it's what it is.
That's what it is. Just go harder. Like, I don't even know what to say. Just dig deep.
Yeah.
Dig deep. And there's worse things that can happen. Plus, there's something about pushing out some babies.
Yeah.
That kind of just levels out your embarrassment level. Once enough people have seen your open bare vagina and a couple of your stools, you're like, nah, it's all right.
I can see why, yeah. I can see why that would do.
Embarrassment in schmarishment. Who cares?
You know what?
My asshole, don't worry about it. So what? It bounced. I knew it would. I was just giving you the card just in case it went through and I was going to give myself a pat on the back for a surprise I didn't know was coming. Like, come on.
Yeah, I'm sure more people than ever today are going through it.
Yeah, we've all been there. Sure. We've been there with the card. Listen, I hope this goes through. Accepted. We're going to get...
Yeah.
Listen...
It's party tonight.
Baguettes for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep it 100. It is what it is. And if you're building, do not be ashamed to be building.
But you think you can educate yourself by yourself? Why not?
I think that my reliance would be books.
All right.
My reliance would be people who bother to put it to print.
Yeah. Oh, there's many books out
because
there. And
courses, you got to tread carefully.
But I think
then if you've got the money to do a couple of them, you can see if there's any threads of sense that run through all of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The thing is when it comes down to all those courses, I believe they're too expensive. Number one, I think they are way overpriced.
That's why I said books. Audible even.
And also, I believe that people...
Go on Nile, Ochi. Our Audible is there. If you do get Audible, you do get one free. And then you just do the free trial. You don't even have to pay any money and you already get a free book, Audible book. Just, it helps the channel.
Absolutely.
And like I said 1,000 times, subscribe.
And it's free, so...
Be like, there's someone listening saying, if she says subscribe one more time, I am switching off. Okay.
Well, it's about education, okay? And it's about we showing you how you make money. This is what you do.
No, this is not.
This is not, absolutely not. No, absolutely not. We wouldn't be that pretentious to just, start, lying to you guys about how you make millions in 2 hours.
Yeah, and stay away from those courses.
Yeah, absolutely.
But how I feel about it is this, look, I think that different people come from different walks of life and they all have their personal struggles. And I think that it definitely should be something we should be thinking to. If we haven't had the education from a system, we should get it from
Yeah.
We should get it from reading books or listening to books or listening to things. There's YouTube. At the end of the day, it's got so much free information out there. You can take it or leave it at this point.
So you can access some sort of education without having to break the banks.
You can. Yes, you can.
Because right now, what they're asking you certain courses, like I said, is
I know you don't have any money and you want to know how to, but you're going to have to pay a whole load of money to go get my course to find out how to make money. Sit your ass down.
However, some of the stuff you have to pick right when you're beginner, because some things are not accessible to you.
This is true.
Doesn't mean they are not correct. It doesn't mean they're not going to work. It's just that
not
that's
accessible
right
now.
Stage 2 or 3 of your financial, life where you're at, and you know. So would you say, if we had to really give a conclusion answer to the first question, which is, do you need money to make money? Yes or no? What would you say, you personally, from your own experience?
From my own experience, I would say the most money that I've made has not been from times where I had any. It's been times where I didn't.
Okay.
That's what I would say, because it makes you more resourceful. And I'd say resourcefulness can sometimes outweigh means.
Yeah.
Because resourcefulness is one of the most valuable means that you can have.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I agree with that.
Because it puts you in a whole nother mindset as to how to approach any problem.
Okay. So, that's not like
yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
So then it's a no then.
I don't want to say resoundingly, but yeah.
For you, life.
Yeah, it's a no.
Okay. Do you want me to give you my...
Go on then.
Well? Okay. If you are interested. Are you interested?
Of course I am. Go.
For me, it's no.
Oh?
Yeah.
You've been sitting here puffing up your yes chest.
I told you this is this is what I was doing. No,
Fine.
because people have different reality. They live different lives, and I didn't want to just come across as someone who say, you don't need. No, there's an explanation as far as my perceptions of things and where my own experience. I'll say no.
Mm-hmm. It depends what endeavor, I guess.
It depends what endeavors, and it depends as well where you are in your life. But I think more so it's about leverage. The art of leverage. Mm-hmm. How you leverage your time. I've come to realize that a lot of time, I'll give you an example. Even I'm going to actually put it in the context of being 9 to 5.
Go.
Even from my own experience. I remember facing a situation when I was working where I could say, I am going to either accept or refuse every single supplementary hours, the additional hours that you're asked to work. And I knew at the time, a lot of people face these situations, that if I say no, then I'm gonna most probably not only make less money, my wage will be smaller, and probably won't be asked again, and eventually someone will find a pretext to lay me off. Okay? It's about risk assessment. It's about how you leverage. And I was like, I don't have other things to do. I've only got time to leverage. So I could say yeah, and I can make more money. Person can see me as being great and be reliable, and can decide, then as soon as I've got maybe a better position where you can be paid more, I will give it to you. Mm-hmm. So now I put myself in the position where I can ask for pay rise. Pay rise, isn't it?
Yeah, pay rise.
And I understood. And funny enough, doing 9 to 5 was never my thing. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. But I understood that early on, like, it's a decision away. How much money you're going to make, how much improvement you're going to make is a decision away in how you're going to leverage the free time you have. Mm-hmm. And it turns out that when we started working in the music industry, all we did is leverage our free time. That's eventually
That's what we had.
That's what we had.
Yeah.
We did not have money, but that's what made us money. And it's the same thing. I could refuse to write these extra songs because I believe that that person that's proposing me this deal is not ensuring me any income. Or I can leverage the free time that I have, trying to lower my means and how I live. Maybe I don't want to overspend anything, so I can still keep living and at the same time get to work the job I want to work. And that alone give me an access to improvement, financial improvement. Now, the trouble in this is patience. If you have zero patience, you will not be able to do this. And you will have a lot of conflicts, because then if you are making the money you think you're going to make, it's going to become a problem. Now, I understand you can always leverage your time, but then you learn how to pick the people you're going to do it with, so that every time you do it, it's for something good. Now, this led us to eventually ended up to do it for ourselves. We made money with some people, but then we realized that maybe it's more lucrative for us in the long run to do it for ourselves.
Yeah, investing in yourself.
Which means that you need patience. And
you
not
do.
once right now I'm talking about actual money to say like big investment where you have to go to the bank, ask a loan so you can keep on doing what you do. Some people do this. They believe that, okay, I'm going to start a business. I'm going to go to the bank, give them a business plan and take a loan.
Yeah.
Because there's a belief, and in some cases it works, but I believe for already going business that are ongoing, already running, I understand what people would ask a loan to expand the business. But for you to start, it's tricky. That's why so many business go on the first 3 years, because you can't repay back the loan. Yeah.
And you'd need patience in order to be able to save up the capital to...
And guess what? When you're involved with other people, one thing that runs dry is patience. The other people will stop being patient with you.
Yeah.
So I say no as a result. That'll be personally my final answer.
What do you say for when you are patient but it looks as if time is running out? Or do you think that that's the trick that patience plays on you?
So what's the trick? Time is running out the first month you decide to go that way about it. It's always running out.
That's
nothing
true.
I've learned. Doesn't matter. 2 weeks will run out.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop.
When I was younger, my dad always used to tell me about the story of Colonel Sanders.
Oh yeah, I know that story as well.
And I always thought to myself, well then, if I'm Colonel Sanders' age, well then I'll be selling my songs Colonel Sanders' age.
Exactly.
Then I will be in the Guinness Book World Records of the oldest person to get a #1 song. What? Like, she's old as hell.
It doesn't mean you're going to want it less. And it doesn't mean, it's a fallacy that when people think that
you get older and you want it less.
When they're young, and you know what, it's typical to our generation. By the time I did, and that's a bit our parents' fault.
We were told that by our parents.
This is our parents' fault, 100%. But yeah, by the time I reach 20, what do you want to do in the next 5-10 years? Where do you want to be? And where should you? Because in other words, where should you be? Because if you give a bad answer, trust me, you're going to hear about it.
Oh, I did. And I heard about it. I heard about it.
You did.
Oh, the disrespect.
We all know that the chances, if you check it, how long it's going to take,
statistics thrown in my face.
It's gonna take for you to make $1 billion by the age of 30 years old.
Yeah,
the percentage rate extremely small.
Yeah,
so you would already
have had to be working at it from when you were a child.
And working at the proper thing as well, because it's not everyone.
And I'm talking about the mentality, the education, the ethos, the patience, the penny pinching, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, right. Sooner the better.
Yeah.
So it's important for you to teach your children if you can.
If you know, and as soon as you know, just tell them.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that to be true as well.
But that's my thing. It's like he was 62 when Colonel Sanders was 62 when he became the KFC person we know today. But I'm like, never too late. No one turned down no money at 62.
It's never too late. Yeah.
He got it in there is what he did.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, and he lived very nicely afterwards.
And plus what? Coming back straight from the army.
Listen.
When we know how soldier get treated when he come back.
Right.
Less Dombe.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So, all right, two, just to wrap it up, 2 questions. Okay.
Go.
All right, number 1 question. All right. So I want your honest answer. Okay. All right. Do you think wealth is reliant on poverty of others? Is wealth reliant on the poverty of others?
Depends where that wealth is placed. If it's placed in it, like, I own casinos, yeah?
Yeah. Then.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a yes.
Only for certain situations.
Not for everything.
No.
Okay.
If
the situation is no.
If I own property.
Okay.
If I own property, I'm not making sure other people are in poverty, am I? I house people, or I don't, or I put people use it for businesses or whatever they use it for, and I go on about my life. In fact, maybe I'm actually.
But why would you own property?
Why would I?
Yeah.
Because it's something that people need.
Okay, but why do you want to do something people need?
Just because someone needs something doesn't mean they're poor to do it.
No, I just want to know.
Because that's the best way for you to be able to insure your money.
Okay.
There's no point in me saying, you know what? Stamps.
Yeah.
Rare stamps. It's like you.
All right, no, I just wanted to know.
You've made your market way more slower. If I said toilets, everyone needs a shitter. You know what I mean?
So it's not. It's true in some of the cases. You think that the wealth, is some of the cases relying on other people's poverty. However, seeing the statistic now, what you say, globally, would you say that?
I think a lot of it is questionable as to what they used to leverage to get it.
Yeah.
But I think that it would depend on what business you're in.
But is this whole system work that way though?
I'm not too sure. I think there's a saying that says
1%,
that if
10%.
everybody put all their money into a pot and we just said everyone gets an even amount shared, sooner or later the money would end up in the same amount of hands, the majority of the money.
Oh, yeah.
And that's an education thing.
Okay. Take the answer. And the last question.
That's probably why they don't do it in schools, but that's a deeper conspiracy theory, but there we go. Just thought put the caveat in there. Education.
As
you do. Go.
That's what's important to be educated. It is.
It depends. I don't like the name every time you say education, it makes it sound like
I'm not talking about
some
education.
School and whatever. I'm talking about
true education.
Personal education.
Yeah.
Go and pick up a book or some sort of resource for yourself, or listen to it, because everyone doesn't like to read. Come on.
You know what? There's a lot of readers though. It's just the interpretation is flawed. So whatever, sometimes I hear of people reading certain stuff and say what they understood about what they read, and then I'm like, oh no, this is not what they mean. And I'm like, oh, please don't go ahead and spread out.
Okay, so Audible, an Audible book or whatever the hell else, TED Talk, whatever you can get your hands on.
That's how you interpret it. So
and that's why it doesn't matter.
Yeah, things can be interpreted in so many ways. That's why being clear and concise and it's very difficult to do without people thinking you said something else.
Yes.
That's what, everybody should be a teacher.
No.
I'm just saying.
No.
Oh, anyway. The other one.
Go.
How much money do you think you need for retirement? And how much money? How much money is too much for you to even by spending? Like even by buying stuff, yet you can't possibly. I'm talking about your retirement. During your retirement, even get through that money. It's not possible. How much for you? I'm talking about.
For me personally,
how much do you need, and how much
how much
do you wild? There's no way I spend that money in my, say, 30 years of retirement or 40 years of retirement.
Okie dokie. I'm planning on living to 100. Carry the one.
Carry the one.
What? I've got plans. You're not gonna just gas me and burn through half of my life, and then I'm coming here and I've got 20 years left. We're living to 100.
No, I was just saying carry the one. What did you carry?
Don't worry about my calculations.
Carry the one. No, the two. No, hold on.
I went to Kumon. Okay.
I know about it. It's all right.
All right.
It's okay. Yeah.
Okay. I would say for what was the first half? What I just need.
What do you need?
Or living how I'm living now? Because I'm quite frugal.
No. What obviously, for good retirement. Like
if I was to say live what my idea of comfort
from
comfortable
60 years
is.
old.
Yeah.
Let's say you retire at 60 years old. Yeah. Not late retirement. 60 years old. I don't think it's late. I don't think it's early, but I don't think it's late. I think it's one of those age. 60. If you succeed in today's life to retire 60 years old, you've done well. I know a lot of people.
Of course,
used to say, "I'm 45. I'm going to retire 50." Let's don't be. This is not the majority of us. Okay.
Yeah.
But 60 years old, how much money do you think you need for your retirement that you like, you know what, I'll be cool with that?
Yeah, I would say, and that's not me depending on the stock market.
Yeah.
Have I got grandkids? We got 3 kids up to now. If they each have 3.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to think about this.
You have to average it by,
And now we're a whole tribe.
At least you can average by 2 per kids, which is some sort of average. 2, 4, 6 grand.
And I'm living up to 100.
Yeah, so my great grand probably as well. So you can multiply that by 212.
I'm gonna say 80.
80 what?
80 million.
Oh, you can't just say 80. 80 could be 80,000.
Or you will say 80 quid.
80 quid.
Good luck, Shem.
No, I know you said. I don't think you meant that.
No, I'm saying 80 million. My number is 80 million based on, and I know it could be extremely less than that, but I'm talking based on Christmas gifts and holidays and
so
and relying on at least out of a group of us.
Yeah.
Even if we try and give our children the best education and they try and give their children the best education, we're going to have at least 3 or 4 waste gal.
Yeah.
Okay. So those people are going to just tear
through.
Mother
won't have them now.
Yeah, I know, but we're going to try, aren't we? So,
so 80,
people who act like, no, I'm going to let them burn. No, you're not. You're going to try.
So 80 million, that's it. You know that. You'll be good.
I'll survive.
You'll be good. Okay.
I'll be good, and so will my family. Because it's no point. My whole idea of doing this is not so that I'm basically living on the poverty line the whole way through.
Yeah, I understand.
And just to say I made it to the end. Like, no, I want to be able to still contribute to my family's life. If someone gets sick and they don't have the money to fly somewhere, I can fly you somewhere, or at least something.
Yeah, I understand.
Because there's always going to be an emergency. That is life.
Yeah, it's true.
And I'm like, I'm not digging into my millions for no emergency here. That is going to have to... Like, I don't want to have to be in that dilemma to say, oh, wow, I can't.
Do you realize 80 million of people are going to think like...
They're going to say this girl is out of her mind and she needs to go back to school. She obviously didn't go...
This is bad education. It's what you
you said what I wanted to live comfortably.
No, but that's my point. This is the point I'm trying to make. That's the program, the way you're programmed to think that one.
No, it's not what I programmed to think. I know
what the people going to think about what you just said.
Maybe they'll be like, yep, I was thinking 100.
Some people will, but a lot of people, I promise you,
they're going to say, you are crazy girl, you know nothing about money. Let me teach you.
It's the way you're programmed to think.
They'll be in my comment section. When you do, subscribe.
Exactly.
No, the reason I'm saying it is because you said comfortably. Now, if you just said live...
Yeah.
If you just said like...
No, comfortable.
Then I know what I'm talking about because I know what my comfort level is. What?
Yeah, I'm not surprised, but go on.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
you could from 60 to, so you want to live to 100 years old, 40 years.
That's
Yeah,
how else am I
years.
not going to do one stitch of work
40 years retirement.
and account for...
Now you're going hard. Now you're plowing through the money.
I wouldn't plow through it.
No, that's not the point. It's, you know, it's what do you say? Scenario.
Okay.
Yeah? Like, you know, okay, plowing through that money. Like, there's no possibly. I'm talking about doing purchasing, portraying to your life. I'm not saying that you're gonna buy a state or a country. We're not talking about this. And we're talking, you know, I'm gonna buy an island. We're not talking about this. I'm saying that, you know,
I really wasn't gonna buy an island.
No, I'm just saying buys that you do, that you know, you're really enjoying your life, and you buy the thing you want.
I wasn't even gonna really enjoy my life.
No,
it was really.
No, that's the second one. That's the first one. You say 80 millions for you to have a comfortable retirement, a really comfortable retirement.
Yeah, comfortable, because you know what makes people uncomfortable in their retirement? Having to come up over that money.
Of course, but I was actually talking about the amount of money that you cannot possibly spend all of it. So you've got, all right, just because we're talking about
that I couldn't possibly spend all of it. 80.
No, that was the first. You see, that's
hello. That's what comfort is to me.
Okay.
When I get to the point where I couldn't possibly
spend 80 million.
No, I'm not going to.
In 40
on
years.
what?
40 years time. We could spend 80 million.
Fine, if I'm living like a crazy woman.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, you can.
I just don't want to worry about it anymore. Like, what's the big deal?
No, 80 million, you don't want to worry. That's it. Now, the amount that, like,
we could go on. What? I thought I was already there.
So 80 regardless, yeah?
Yeah, because like, even if I got some waste bag kids dig in my pocket, like, I'm gonna be okay. All right, you're not gonna dig it all the way out. 10 in, I'll tell you to back up. Like, what are you doing? Like, well, what are we doing here?
All right, okay.
You see what I'm saying? Okay. I'm accounting for sicknesses. I'm accounting for rare diseases. I'm accounting for family who wants to move across the world and still want to come to Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm accounting for all of those things.
Yeah.
You know, life.
So 80 is a good number. 80 is
life.
a good number. Yeah.
Though I know that you need a fraction of that to actually just live like a normal.
You do need a fraction of that.
Yeah, a fraction.
You do.
I know. I know that, but you said what I wanted, not what.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. That's fine. I wanted to know that, but then I said that also, like, something that frivolously you're spending the money. It's like, what can you physically possibly spend the money? 40 years.
Frivolously, I would literally have to just be giving it away on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe $1 billion or 2 billion, 3 billion.
Yeah. That's hard to spend $1 billion.
Whatever Zuckerberg's on.
You know, it's hard to spend $1 billion.
Because he's having trouble spending it, apparently.
Yeah, it is hard. That's why they all do give majority of the wealth, to charities.
I wouldn't know.
To literally spend that money, and I do believe, and I'm a strong believer that if you are planning on spending so much money frivolously, you should give it to charity anyway. That's my belief anyway.
It depends who runs a charity, but yes.
Yeah, but you can make your own charity. You can give it to someone who needs it.
And here we are back again with the money. It just won't leave. It won't get away from me. I know. What a horrible position to be in.
Don't say that.
Huh?
Because I believe
Did I mean it?
I thought, you know why you cannot possibly say that. Keep coming. What am I going to do with all this?
Hey.
Yeah.
Rich people problems, as us poor like to say. Rich people problems.
Rich people problems.
Hey.
But you know what's true wealth then? Do you believe that being wealthy is about?
I thought you said we have 2 questions. You're giving me a third. Yeah. I'll answer it though.
Yeah, it's just what I was thinking about it.
We're wrapping up with this, right?
Yeah, wrapping up.
Okay.
So many people, some people were saying that they're not they don't have that much money, but what they own, like, you know, it's what they call it true wealth. They feel wealthy.
I do believe in it, which is gonna probably go against my 80 million number that I just said, but true wealth to me has always been me being in control of the way at which I spend my time and who I spend my time with.
Yeah.
Not having to be forced to, or feel like I'm forced to not be able to create what I want to create and be around the people who I want to be around.
Yeah.
You know, that's true freedom to me. So that's what I was saying. If I miss somebody and they happen to be across the world, I can say, you know what, let me book something and go see them.
Yeah, that's actually nice. Yeah.
But outside of being able to do that, because I also am a believer of, you know, it's best that you long to see me than you're fed up to see me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't complain. I'm happy with our little lives that we have here. You know, we've got the garden, and I know it seems crazy to people, but from when I'm out in nature and I can just create my own little thing, I know that from one seed I can create something that will give me 100 seeds.
Yeah.
That's abundance.
Yeah. Which is true wealth.
It's just down to whatever I put into action.
Yeah, I understand that.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
You know, the kids are happy. They talk to me with respect. I talk to them with respect. Like,
yeah.
You know, I'm with you. I see so many people, they're like still like, I get texts from my mum like, do you know anybody for da-da-da-da-da? And I'm like, I don't know anybody for her.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
People are still trying to find people. Like,
COVID was really
some people have lost people that they love.
Yeah,
you mean to tell me that I get to live with the person that I love and they're not sick and they haven't passed away yet, and get it back down to basics. Like,
yeah, that's true.
I've got healthy kids.
Yeah,
I'm relatively healthy, ex the thyroid problem, but that I'm going to beat. Okay.
Yeah.
Like.
So yeah,
I'm learning. I can learn.
Yeah,
I've got the ability to learn.
Yeah,
like I'm okay.
So you can feel wealthy without tons of money, and perhaps which render the idea of you need money to make money,
which is why I feel that way. I feel like no.
It's a good way to think.
Because I've always felt like this. I've never felt like I wasn't worthy because of whatever, and I've never looked down on somebody because they didn't have something yet.
It is a very reliable way to think. I found that it's
what's kept my sanity.
Because I believe ultimately money comes and goes, and if you don't have other things, then you'll be missing out on something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that I feel that you can replace it for what it's supposed to be for.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't hate money. I don't think money's evil. I don't think people with money are evil. I think money's great. I think that you can do great things with it if you're a great person.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think it's an amplifier.
It is an amplifier.
But
definitely.
There are other things that can bring you value.
It is an amplifier.
You know what I mean? There are other things to bring me value.
And I think, and you could eventually leverage as well. In order to
and I've seen a lot of
better,
exactly, and I've seen a lot of people who so-called poor, but they're happy, and I don't see them as poor because they've got the basics.
True, yeah.
They have got somebody who loves them, somebody to come home to. They've got kids who love them. Yeah. They've got friends and family around them who care for them. They're in this community. They
come across to me very happy anyway, and no needy them missing anything. So yeah, it is.
You know what I mean?
I understand that completely.
You know, your unhappiness lies in what you think you're missing.
Yeah.
Hence why, this patience thing is, if you're impatient, you're usually very unhappy.
Yeah. You're unhappy
because you're seeing a lack of something rather than...
You stifle your growth when you do that.
Yeah, because you're complaining about the journey the whole way there.
Yeah.
And a part of it's like, I'm okay. That's why I said 14 subscribers. I'm okay.
Well, that's the beginning, but
I celebrated at 10 and I will be celebrating at 50.
And good beginning nonetheless.
What do you want me to do? Not start because I don't want to have that number show up? Like that's madness to me.
Yeah. You have to pay attention to the progress.
Yes.
More than the content in itself sometimes.
Well, yeah. You mean more than the journey where you're at the journey?
Yeah, but also it's like the number of subscribers. You say 40 subscribers, but what is it if you stuck at 50,000 subscribers, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But you're stuck. That's the content. That's what you have.
Yeah.
But the progress has been stopped.
Yeah.
And I believe that focus more on the progress rather than the content. The content is what you worked for yesterday.
Yeah.
And the progress is where you're going for your future.
I was only confused because there's the word content, which actually means like what you create now.
Yeah,
but I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
But, hence why you do evergreen content, don't you?
So
then when it stays there, it still, propels
but
you.
But it will be me and these 50,000 out here.
It is what it is.
And that'll be my 50,000.
Right.
And that's it. And we'll have a good old time. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Leave in the comment section.
Yeah.
What you feel. Do you feel like you need money to make money? Do you feel as though you are financially embarrassed? Have you ever been financially embarrassed? Have you never been financially embarrassed? Do you believe that it should even be a thing? And just talk in the comment section. Be kind and respectful to one another, and
share your experiences.
What you've been
through, and the struggles.
Yeah. Have you ever had a niece moment where you just have to just sit back down at the table and order water?
That's it. Plain and simple.
And it is what it is. We still ate that night.
We did.
We didn't have any means.
Yeah.
Something came up.
Yeah.
Hey.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But I guess the entertainment was good enough.
Yeah, it's the universe.
Hey, so you look after your minds, look after your bodies and your spirits. And until next time, thank you.
And ciao.
Ciao.